these members of the legislature and our office worked together to help speed up that process. They appropriated dollars so that we could add add individuals to the VA's offices to speed up that paperwork. It's the kind of thing we do in Texas. We respect our veterans' sacrifices. We support them. We are obligated to support our veterans, their families. As a matter of fact, we are honored to do so. Aaron, I want to say a special thanks to you for your efforts. I think you very eloquently shared your passion for not only your job as state representative, but to honor the citizens who have asked you to go to Austin to represent them. And the resolution that he passed tells a powerful story of this young man who left this beautiful town to defend his adopted country. He achieved far above and beyond the call of duty. For his valorous actions as the Allied forces pushed through Germany, actions that put his life at great jeopardy. In that bloody place called the Hurtgen Forest, Private Pedro Cano set a standard of bravery that bears recognition in the form of the highest honor that the state of Texas can bestow upon him. And it is my honor today to present to Private Cano's family the Texas Legislative Medal of Honor in memory of an incredibly brave man and favorite son of Edinburgh, Texas. His gallantry inspires us all and reminds us of the true cost of freedom, and a freedom that we can never, ever take for granted. Thank you. I'm done. Listo? I would have been down there for 2 days trying to figure that out. Such a silly boy. Good job. Thank you for being here. See if I can get another. If you got him, bring him up.
And now, a member of the Cano family, please welcome Stephen Cano.
Hello, my name is Steve Cano. My father, Alvaro Cano, was the cousin of Pedro. And Dominga, Pedro's daughter, yesterday asked me if I would say a few words today, and my first thought was, thanks for the early notice, Dominga. Well, kidding aside, I want to thank Governor Perry for being here today, as well as Representative Pena, Senator Hinosa, and Representative Gonzalez. Okay, and of course, Mayor, I didn't catch your last name? Garcia. I want to thank you very much for taking time out of all of your schedules. Governor, I know you've got a lot of important matters on your agenda, and but we're blessed with your presence today, as we are with all of you. I also want to say something. I want to add to that and say that I believe that you bring honor upon yourself by undertaking this noble cause, because there's no cause greater than the calling to defend your country. And so I thank you for what you've done. Now, if I could just say a few brief words about Pedro Cano. Pedro was just an ordinary man, and he was thrust into an unordinary world war. But the character of Pedro would have been well established before he ever set one foot in the battlefields of Europe. And I think that this great city of Edinburgh had a lot to do with that. I think that you impacted him. You impacted his character. You won his heart over. And I think that that can't be underestimated, because it's these type of communities across America that will preserve, I think, this type of character in our people. And so I want to thank the city of Edinburgh for that. But Pedro's story would have started when his father, Secundino, came over here in 1920. And Pedro would have been actually about 2 months old. And if I can just tell kind of an interesting story, my grandfather, Leandro Cano, would have come over with Secundino about this exact same time, perhaps even together. And my grandfather was actually a horseman for General Carranza in the Mexican Revolutionary War. And so he loved to sing revolutionary songs when he worked in the fields of Texas. And of course, he lived in close proximity to Secundino and Pedro. And I'd like to think that, Pedro might have sung some of those songs along with him when he was singing them. But, Pedro would have enjoyed the simple things of life. He would have enjoyed spending time with family. He would have enjoyed good Mexican food and homemade tortillas made by his mother. But there's a peace that comes from working in the land. And I believe that Pedro's heart would have been full of peace. But in his time, there was a dark cloud that was coming over America. And there was going to be a great world war that would engulf families from across America. And Pedro's life, as he knew it, would forever be changed. The war in Europe stirred the hearts of Americans from East Coast to West Coast, and from New York City to Los Angeles, and from Des Moines, Iowa, to Edinburgh, Texas. And Pedro, out of love and devotion to the only country that he ever knew, volunteered to join the U.S. Army in their fight against Hitler's Nazi regime. Just a little bit of history here. Lieutenant Colonel Doolittle from the World War II fame, he once said that there is nothing as strong as the heart of a volunteer. And little did Pedro know that he was about to get a front row seat to some of the most historical and ferocious battles in the history of the world. It's been said that war is hell, and the Hürtgen Forest certainly would qualify as hell on earth. From the period of November 3rd through December 4th of 1944, the 4th Infantry Division lost over 7,000 men in that forest. And it was a terrible fight. It would be the equivalent of losing 10 members from each company every day. Many of Pedro's fellow soldiers would have fallen in that Hürtgen Forest. It can truly be said that war is cruel. Pedro would have come home a changed man. And they say that time heals all wounds. Well, for Pedro, he would only have 6 more years to heal those wounds and to enjoy his life. And now we can only look back at his life, and we can look at a life that was given in service of his country. And we can honor his sense of duty that he had to this country, and we can pay tribute to the heroic actions that he had that were beyond the call of duty, and we can remember this unsung hero as a true American hero. I believe Pedro would be very proud of his children, Dominga and Mary and Susano, and his grandchildren and his children, and his sister Alvina and her family. I believe that their character and gentle spirit speaks to the life that Pedro lived, and it's also a testament to his life. It can truly be said that Pedro stood in our place so that we could have freedom today, because freedom isn't free. Someone had to pay the price that we could keep it. So I want to say that today we're honoring him, and we will forever be in his debt. But there's an interesting saying that Ronald Reagan actually once said, and it's that some people live their entire lives, and they're trying to figure out if they lived their life and it made a difference in this world. Well, Pedro Cano didn't have that problem because he made a difference for America. And today we don't only remember that difference, but we honor it. And so I just want to say, God bless you, city of Edinburgh. God bless the great state of Texas. And God bless the United States of America. Thank you. Thank you.